Chapter 1833. When the elevator door opened, Zin took the lead. When Alex saw the elevator coming, he was about to signal to let Xingshi next to him go first. At this time, Zin had already stepped out. The moment he walked out of the elevator door, he directly faced Alex's eyes. At this moment, Zin frowned slightly subconsciously, a familiar and unfamiliar aura that made him feel nervous. And Alex, although he didn't know the man in front of him, seeing the other person's eyes full of alertness and surprise, he couldn't help but glance at him more. The opposite man was in his early 50s, with a normal appearance and a normal figure. He was dressed very luxuriously. There was a bit of hostility between his eyebrows, and he looked like a cruel master. A face, but between the sparks and flints. There was Xingshi beside Alex, so she didn't pay too much attention to this man, and after passing by, she entered the elevator with Xingshi. When the elevator door was closed, Zin suddenly stopped and looked back in the direction of the elevator. Josh on the side asked him, "Master, what's wrong?" Zin smacked his lips. "Weird. The kid who entered the elevator just now has a familiar feeling." Josh asked curiously, "Do you have acquaintances in China?" Zin said, "There are many acquaintances, but there are really no such young people." "Does the kid just now look like 26 or 7? He is about the same age as Jifei, or 1 or 2 years older than Jifei." Josh nodded. "It's about the same age as the young master." "Do you know him?" "Do not know." Zin bit his lip and said with a black face, "But he looks quite similar to an old friend of mine." "Old friend?" Josh asked curiously. "Master, who is your old friend?" Zin asked with a very cold expression. "Have you ever heard others talk about Robson?" Josh is not very young. This year he is less than 40 years old. When Alex's father, Robson, died, he was still studying abroad, and he didn't know what happened in Eastcliff at that time. Therefore, he couldn't help asking, "Master, is the Robson you said the one who belongs to the Anderson family?" "Yes." Zin couldn't help thinking of Robson's heroic posture. At that time, Robson was really a super noble son who moved the capital. Handsome, unrestrained, and suave, and more importantly, his personal ability was extremely strong, and he was definitely the first to excel in Eastcliff. Back then, in front of Robson, Zin was completely gloomy. Robson, one of Eastcliff's celebrity ladies, squeezed their heads and wanted to marry him. One by one, they could not wait to find a life for Robson. Zin's wife, Leona Du, who was also Jifei and Jiu's mother, loved Robson to death. Back then, Zin exhausted everything and launched a frantic pursuit of Leona, but Leona completely dismissed it and wanted to marry Robson. Even if Robson already had a fiancée, Leona was determined to die for him at any time. Even if Zin worked hard to create a grand proposal that made a sensation in Eastcliff for her, Leona still did not agree. In front of countless people, Leona only said a few words to Zin. The first sentence was, "I'm sorry, I can't marry you." The second sentence, "Because Robson is not married after all."